Hi everyone, Getter here from NiP. I'm gonna be answering questions that you have been sending in on our Instagram and on social media accounts. So the first one is coming from Sting_189. How to become a pro like you guys and compete in international events? Well, it's kind of a blurry questions. It's mostly because there's a very long question to answer, but the easiest way to answer on that is basically give everything every day that you practice, and also sign up for online tournaments and try to get your name out there and hope that you can get a couple of friends that you can make a team with, or get spot by other teams that you play against that you're good enough and climb the ladder from there, and then hopefully enough time you will get recognized to be a really good player and you can play international tournaments like we are doing. Another question from CA322N0. Don't you miss your mustache yet, right? Not really. I was actually thinking about doing the November campaign again, but I was thinking I need to gain a lot of more weight and getting back to my old form to being impersonator of Pablo Escobar. So I didn't think the time wasn't good enough for me, and I need to be a little bit more healthier, so not this time, maybe next year. Pilot Victor 172 has been sending in, what is the most heartwarming thing that happened to you in CSGO? Ooh, that's there's a lot of things, but the thing that comes up to my mind first is probably when that streamer that has disability they can't see, and he has issues with his hands and all that kind of stuff. I don't remember exactly his nickname anymore, but I look to his stream time to time when the community back him up and show support for him, because he's playing the game that everyone loves, and it doesn't really matter who you are and how you look like and whatnot. And I think it was amazing to see the community stood by him and actually support him the most, and a lot of professional players pushed him to become even better. And I know he got a streaming contract with NVS, so I think that was a heart-warming moment for me, at least. That's at least one of the few things I can come up on my mind. So Santiago_SV has sent in question for Getter. What's your favorite moment of all these years you've been playing professionally? I think it's similar to the other question that I just answered. There's a lot of different moments and moments that happened to me that felt was the biggest thing for my career. And I mean, the first one that have always come up to my mind is probably when I won IM championship in 2009 with Fnatic in 1.6, because I had a very tough time in 1.6. It took me 2 years to become professional, and I worked my ass off to become a pro. And less than 2 weeks playing with a new player in the team, we managed to win global finals then, and 1.6 was way more stacked, and not like it is right now in CSGO, but it was a couple of teams actually had the chance to win, and joining one of the biggest brands in the scene back then, and also the team, it was just an amazing feeling to win your biggest international win then. And I mean, on top of that also, I got the Player of the Year award that year, and my team won it as well. So the highlight of the year was pretty much the whole thing, in 2009, how successful we were, how dominant we were, and how many awards we actually won just being that good, So I think that's one of the fewer things that I can think off the top of my mind, but also, of course, the main in CSGO in 2014. Said Torres asked, I'm 27, is it too late to think about going pro? I don't think it's never too late to becoming a pro, because it feels year after year, it feels like age doesn't really matter, and there's a lot of still professionals even older than me who are that still competed with frags and skills and whatnot, So I don't think age number really matter the most. It all depends on your mentality and what you think in your head and what you want to do with your life and whatnot, Because the older you get, you have other obligations, and playing couldn't be, the one thing that you can do all the time. And I think you have to really think about it and see if you really want to, to take the chance of it, because it's gonna take time for sure, but I think it's gonna be worth it in the end, if you ask me. Cheesebread 32, that's a good name. What do you fear the most? I'm terrifying from heights. Like I can like look from like if I stand on a bridge and I look down, I feel like kind of like scared when I stand there. But also like flying, and that's kind of hilarious because we fly all the time. It feels like, and I don't really enjoy it at all. But it's been coming better and better every year. But I still don't like it, and I still like fear that the most, if you ask me. Lorinzoa, I don't know if I pronounced the name correctly. Do you think that there is ever really a core to any team, or is a core even necessary? I believe that there isn't really a core that happens in the teams. I think it's just becoming to that point when it feels like a core is inside of a team. And you can name like me and Patrik's been playing for a long time. Before that, we, with Exist Fiber and Fifi was in there, and whatnot. But I don't really feel it's necessary to have it. But it's a nice thing, I believe. And I think that makes the other teammates that you're playing with, getting better, pop themselves to become even better and be involved around that core, if you ask me. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's very necessary, though. Birke Annaland Birkehorn asked, who in NiP puts in the most time? I think that's a kind of a difficult question because I would say me, but I wouldn't say me when I'm playing from home, because at home I have other things to do and I don't feel like I put in exactly enough time that I need to. But I feel like I'm come to the point when it's okay, but I know when I come to a tournament or a boot camp or whatnot, I'm gonna push even harder and put in even more hours. And I think that's when I really shine off it, to say that I put in the most hours. But outside of that, I think Dennis is probably the easiest choice of that, because you can feel that he really puts in the time. Like sometimes he gets stuck into play other games, but he always comes back to CS, and it's similar to me, but he also puts in a lot of more time when he's at home and whatnot, So I think it's between me and him in a way, but I think it's end of the day it's him. It's Dennis. Alex Osta, do you miss Fifi? Of course I miss Fifi. I mean, who can't miss him? He's a lovable guy, he's a nice guy, and he likes to have everyone on a good mood and whatnot. He's just a very good personality and a good friend, if you ask me, and I'm very happy for him to getting married soon. So that's a nice thing, at least. Trippe Humano, love you guys. Who do you consider the best aimer in NiP right now? I think that everyone in the team would probably answer this kind of directly, and it's gonna be Res any given day. What people don't really see in officials and in practice games and whatnot, you see how crisp his aim is, and it amazes me every day to play with such a player, because I've never been the aimer guy, so it's interesting to see how good of aim he has, and how he can turn around just from looks like it's losing and to almost winning it or winning it most of the time. So it's just amazing to see how good aim he actually has, I'll be on Rex High. My friends, what's your music taste? Hope it's as good as Dennis. I don't know, to be honest. I listen to everything, and I don't really have any preference, to be honest. I just feel like if music feels like good and sounds good to me, I just like to listen to it. So it doesn't really matter what gender it is and whatnot, I just like to listen to music. So I hope that's a little bit close to Dennis, but you never know, The real Martin Olsson. How is Lekker different from Exist as an in-game leader? I think it's terrible in-game leader. I don't think it's that good, so I can't give any praise for that. No, of course I can give him praise for it. He's taken up a role that he's not really familiar with, and I think he's doing a terrific job with doing it. Different between him and Exist is mostly because Exist has been doing it for such a long time, so for him it's just a natural thing. From Jonas, he hasn't done it for a longer time like Exist, for example, so he gets a little bit stuck time to time, but he also brings out things that it's an X factor thing, he can come up with things that we never do and whatnot, and I think that's one of the better things that Jonas has as a game leader, because he sometimes can just throw a lot of rounds at the same time that you feel like you're doing it again and again and again, and it works most of the time. But then you just can do a 180 and just change completely the game and how it's supposed to be played, with a slow or a fast or a between those things round. So I think that's a good natural thing that he has as a game leader, and I know he's gonna become even better in the future. So, Joe, do you ever play the hostage map, for example, Office or Wingman? I played a little bit Wingman when it came out, but I haven't really played it that much as I probably should have, because I started playing CS back in '99, you know, and hostage match was kind of the deal then. So I think I played in the old maps and in the old days in a way. So I played Ori, Siege, The Office, and whatnot. You know, I played more of those matches, Militia even as well. But in CSGO, I haven't really touched it that much, to be honest. It would be fun if there was actually a random tournament that actually had, like, you know, the other rules and the hostage map only. It would be fun to play it at least, so you never know. Thanks for sending in all the questions you had. I hope I answered it pretty good for you, and if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow me.